Today on an all-new Dr. Phil, his girlfriend went missing.
All that remained was a drink on her car.
Vanished without a trace.
They started looking at you as a suspect.
I'd be in a restaurant and you hear people behind me going, "That's the guy that killed his girlfriend."
Her mother wants a reinvestigation.
What do you think happened to Lori?
What did her best friend witness?
You said a boy had been asking her out.
He was drawing a man with a bloody knife.
Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
Today is going to be a changing day in your life.
5, 4.
I am not giving up on you. Well, I want you to look at the faces of these women. Hundreds and hundreds of them filling the screen behind me. What do they all have in common? Well, they are young, all between the ages of 18 and 25. They are daughters, sisters, mothers, and friends. All of them are cold cases of missing women in the United States. This woman is Kaylita White. She was 18 years old when she went missing on August 22nd, 2006, from Tukwila, Washington. And this is 24-year-old Jennifer Kissy. Her family has been looking for her since January 24th, 2006, when she went missing from Orlando, Florida. And this is 20-year-old Lori Deppes. Lori's boyfriend, Mark, says that 26 years ago, on August 19th, 1992, Lori vanished without a trace.
Lori and I met when we were about 15, 16 years old and started dating 4 years later. Lori and I talked about marriage. She was the love of my life, but Lori has been missing for 26 years. She was just gone. It was like out of nowhere on Sunday, August 19th, 1992. Lori called me from the mall at her job and said that she'd be coming over. Around 9:40-ish, I heard her car pull up because she had an extremely loud muffler.
They heard her car arrive. She had a VW Rabbit that had a distinct muffler issue. Nobody actually saw her.
After I heard Lori drive in, I waited maybe 30 seconds or so. I walked out on my deck, and roughly where this silver car is here was her car. She had a cup sitting right about here, and nothing else looked disturbed.
The one big clue was a drink container left on the car's hood. However, that drink never provided investigators with any type of a link.
I called the police probably literally within 10, 15 minutes. We were just walking all over the neighborhood, looking for her, calling her name, walking into apartment buildings, just looking for hours. I remember seeing one of the police officers open up one of the garbage cans specifically, and that's when it just really kind of threw me off. Like, wait a minute, they're looking for her body.
Mark says his life changed forever that night. When the news of Lori's disappearance hit their small town, Mark says his community turned against him and started pointing fingers. It has been 26 years, and Mark has never spoken out, never given a single interview until now.
When Lori disappeared, I knew that I would be one of the prime suspects. The FBI was following me around for probably a good 7, 8 months. People in restaurants saying, "Hey, that's the guy that killed his girlfriend." I would get prank phone calls in the middle of the night saying, "Honey, it's me, I'm alive, I'm okay." Talking 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, so I would get excited and think that she's okay. And then it would be a female laughing and then eventually hanging up. One day I came home from work and there were probably 8 or 9 missing flyers plastered to my door with, "I raped her, I tortured her," all kinds of really vulgar things. Then, a week or so after she had gone missing, Mary, her mother, happened to be there. And in front of a room full of people, she stuck her finger in my face and said, "This is all your fault. My daughter would be here if it wasn't for you." Her finger was probably about this close to my face. She was coming forward like that, and she was spewing it out like venom. It was very shocking. It affected me very badly. I know I self-medicated a lot. I started drinking a lot. I was a wreck.
Well, Mark, I'm sorry for your loss. Obviously, we don't know. The body has not been found, but she certainly lost from your life, and I'm very sorry for that.
Thank you.
When was the last time you saw Lori, and what were you doing? What was she saying?
The last time I saw her was August 18th, the day before she disappeared.
Right.
My parents had come back to our state to visit and to finally meet the person that I wanted to marry.
Right.
And we spent the entire day at a beach house, on the lake, boating, jet skiing, etc. And my parents both were like, yep, she's the one. Good for you.
You could hear her muffler when she pulled up. If anything had happened as far as a fight or her being abducted and her struggling or whatever, if you could hear the muffler, you would think you would have been able to hear that, right?
Yeah, I would have thought.
Because we have a picture that shows the juxtaposition from the balcony where the car was parked, and the distance is what, maybe 100 feet, 150 feet?
If that even, yeah.
Something like that. You didn't hear anything. You heard the muffler, but then you didn't hear anything.
And I waited maybe 45 seconds, and I'm like, why isn't she in here yet? You know, because she didn't have to knock on my door. She would just come in and be there.
I thought she'd be there.
And so I just thought it was odd. I walked out on my deck, and I saw her car with the cup sitting on the back, and I didn't see Lori. There was nobody outside.
Right, and this is her car.
That's her car.
And that cup that was sitting there, she brought it with her, you think?
Yep, yeah, from work.
So she had apparently gotten out, turned around, set that there while she was maybe doing something. Do you think she knew her assailant?
I had a much different idea of who might be responsible for this at the very beginning.
Right.
But with some of the light that's been shed upon me, I know she met the person.
So you go down and over to her car and you see it, and you looked. You didn't see anything.
Nothing.
I
checked the doors. The doors were locked. Her purse wasn't in there. There wasn't any like garbage or any sign of like anybody being around like on the ground or anything. It just, again, her cup sitting on the back of her car. And
okay, so she's not there. And what did you do instantly, right then?
I just did I started walking around my parking lot a little bit and looking around going, hey, Lori, I was kind of calling for. I couldn't find her. I went back into my apartment, and I said to my sister and to our mutual friend, I said, there's something very wrong going on. I'm like, she is not downstairs. She's not anywhere. And I said, I'm calling the police. So,
And how long was that before you called the police?
Probably within 10 minutes of her arriving to my house.
Okay.
Yeah.
So within 10 minutes, you call the police?
Yep.
They come over?
They came
right
over.
Right away, you mean?
They came over pretty much right away. Myself, some of the other people that were at my house with me, we, with the police as well, started just canvassing the neighborhood and walking several blocks in every direction looking for her.
How many people were in the apartment with you?
It was myself, my sister, and a mutual friend of Lori and I's.
Okay, and they heard her pull up?
Yep.
So you all heard her pull up?
I basically said, Lori's here, because it was extremely loud.
Yeah, bad muffler.
Bad muffler.
Yeah.
And I said, she's here.
They started looking at you as a suspect immediately, right?
Yes.
Even though you had two witnesses in the apartment that heard her car pull up when you were with them?
Yes.
So she was seen at work by people that attest to that?
Yes.
You were in your apartment with people that attest to your being there during the time she left work and arrived at your apartment, but yet you became the suspect?
Yeah. I had people pointing their fingers at me, and I'd be in a restaurant, and I would literally hear people behind me going, hey, that's the guy that killed his girlfriend.
And this is your sister Lisa right here.
Yes,
Hi, Lisa.
That's my sister Lisa.
Hi,
and
Dr.
you
Phil.
were in that apartment that night, right?
We lived together. So we shared that apartment. So I had been there the whole day.
And
actually.
did you hear the car pull up?
I did hear the car pull up. It was kind of a joke because her muffler was so loud, you couldn't not hear it.
And you're with him the entire time, and
yes.
another witness.
Yes, absolutely.
So it's impossible for him to have abducted her.
No way he could have.
Because he was with you and another witness?
Yes.
Huh. Okay, coming up, Lori's mother says there needs to be a reinvestigation of the prime suspects. Does she still think Mark is a suspect? Because at one time, she certainly did, correct?
Yes.
Well, I'm going to ask her about that when we come back.
I would like to see the case reopened, have the facts looked at again, people talked to again. I really believe that Lori was abducted by someone that she knew.
And later,
he was drawing a person standing behind a girl and stabbing them. What the girl in the drawing was wearing was very similar to what Lori was wearing the night she disappeared.
Ubrelvy helps you fight migraine attacks. You put it all on the line. You do it all. So you bring Ubrelvy. It can quickly stop migraine in its tracks within 2 hours without worrying if it's too late or where you are.
Unlike older medicines, Ubrelvy is a pill that directly blocks a protein believed to be a cause of migraine. Do not take with strong CYP3A4 inhibitors. Most common side effects were nausea and tiredness.
Migraine pain relief starts with you. Learn how AbbVie can help you save. Ask about Ubrelvy, the anytime, anywhere migraine medicine.
Ugh, this rental car is so boring to drive.
Let's be honest. The rent-a-car industry is the definition of boring, and the reason can be found in the name itself. Rent a car? You don't want a friend. You want the friend. You don't want a job. You want the job. The is always over up. That's why we don't offer a car. We offer the car. Sixth, rent the car.
I was thinking, I should probably set up that 90-day refill.
Walgreens is all about making life easier. I can help set that up right now for you.
I'll be honest, there are days I forget what she's supposed to be taking.
Hey, I get it. And you're not alone in this, okay?
So James, all these prescriptions, are they covered?
That's right. With your Medicare plan, you get low-cost copays.
Thank you.
Let's talk about making things easier. Walgreens is here.
Dupixent helps you do more with less asthma and can help you breathe better in as little as 2 weeks. Dupixent is an add-on treatment for specific types of moderate to severe asthma that's not for sudden breathing problems. Dupixent can cause allergic reactions that can be severe. Get help right away if you have rash, chest pain, worsening shortness of breath, tingling or numbness in your limbs. Tell your doctor about new or worsening joint aches and pain or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines, including steroids, without talking to your doctor. Ask your specialist about Dupixent.
Why is everyone talking about Navage and nasal irrigation?
I am one who suffers from chronic sinus infection.
You need to clean that crap out of your nose.
Navage is simple. Your nose is the body's air filter, but it's not perfect. Navage is a drug-free way to help flush out allergens, mucus, and germs using powered suction. Join nearly 3 million Navage users so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier.
I love this thing.
It's nice to breathe.
Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Prescription eyewear can be really expensive. But here's the secret. Glasses don't actually cost that much to make. Surprise! Especially when you design your own eyewear and then sell it directly to your customers. Like we do. Oh, hi. We're Warby Parker. Our glasses start at $95, including prescription lenses. And the best part? You could try 5 pairs for free at warbyparker.com.
I've been super open about my struggles with mental health, and I really believe there shouldn't be a stigma around the subject or around taking medication for your anxiety if that's what you need to feel better. That's something I know firsthand, and that's why I trust hers. They help women access quality online mental health care with no insurance required. At forhers.com, you can connect with a licensed medical provider to get a customized care plan that's right for you. Getting support for your mental health has never been simpler.
Start your free consultation at forhers.com.
Let the chips fall where they may. There are some things that I've heard.
I think he's a fraud, and I don't think he's a good person.
It's only gonna get worse. I ain't gonna do this with everybody.
This is too much.
Ready to Love. New episode tonight, 8/7 Central.
After Lori's disappearance, I didn't date for years. I finally got married in 2003. My wife left in 2009. Even though I've been alone since 2009, a big part of me feels like I've been alone since 1992. To this day, 26 years later, Lori's disappearance still affects me because I've had no closure whatsoever.
Well, Mark says his life would have turned out so differently if his girlfriend Lori didn't vanish 26 years ago. She was just 20 years old when she drove to Mark's apartment on an August night, but she never made it to his door. She made it to the parking lot because they heard the car pull in. All that remained was a drink on top of her car. The police have been searching for answers to this mystery, but Lori's mother, Mary, well, she just wants them to do more.
When Lori went missing in 1992, she was considered a runaway. So that, to me, deterred the investigation for a full 3 days. The active search for Lori went on for almost a year because there were constantly calls coming in because we had a search center. Then the Department of Justice started to help investigate, and they found nothing. Finally, in 2010, a man named Larry Hall confessed.
Larry Dwayne Hall confessed to her murder while he was already serving time in prison. He said Deppis was buried in south central Wisconsin, but that was never proven, and investigators couldn't find any physical evidence to tie him to the disappearance.
I had a hard time believing Larry was a suspect only because there was no screams, there was no yelling. The people waiting for in the apartment heard nothing. I would like to see the case reopened, have the facts looked at again, people talked to again. I really believe that Lori was abducted by someone that she knew, and we have to find that person.
So, Mary, thank you for being here. And as I said to Mark, I'm very sorry for your loss. We don't know what's happened,
right,
but we know she's gone from your life. So
That's
I'm very sorry for that. What do you think happened to Lori?
I guess my gut reaction is that somebody she knew met her in the parking lot, in the parking lot of your apartment, and just took her away. That's all I can think of. I really don't know. She was a very friendly person. She didn't like to cause problems, and so if someone were to talk to her and convince her, you know, to come take a ride or something, she would have done it.
Now, you've not seen Mark for 7 years, right? You two have not stayed in contact?
No. When Lori and Mark were going together, we never really had a ongoing relationship. Lori and Mark spent more time with Lori's father than they did with me and my husband, so I never really got to know Mark.
When she first disappeared, did you think Mark had something to do with it?
No. I mean, he was in the apartment waiting for her. How could he, unless he had a mastermind plan that, you know, but I can't imagine why somebody that, you know, was in a relationship would do that.
Right. There was a time when you were frustrated and pointed a finger at him and said you didn't protect her, you failed to protect her.
You might not remember, but you said this is all your fault, and you did.
I did?
In my apartment, you put your finger in my face and said this is all your fault, you should have done something. So,
well, I don't really remember that. Actually, during that time period, I was not myself. I was just totally numb.
Well, I'm 100% understand. A parent has a child go missing. I think you're permitted some latitude of shock and dismay. You're going to find somebody else to criticize you about that, because you'd have to take me to the dump. I just can't even imagine what you went through. That's one thing you won't hear me say, is I know how you felt. That had to just be a terrible time in your life.
It was, because you never think that it's going to happen to you.
Right.
You know, you just don't.
You know, Mark has said that he believes that he has a idea of who this person was. Do you share that theory?
Basically, from what I've heard from the police stories and what other people have said, that there was this fella that was at the mall that was pursuing her.
Well, coming up, Mark says he thinks Mary has been keeping something of his. He'll tell us about that when we come back.
I have a photo album that was mine that we kept at Lori's house of just the two of us, and the local police told me that I had to wait 7 years before I could get it. Lori's mom signed it out and basically took it from me.
I don't have it.
And later, Pam Coronado has consulted as a psychic detective to the FBI.
I keep seeing a swimming pool.
Come on, open book.
Okay, open book. The 3-part reunion concludes.
She is the definition of the devil. You have a dark soul. Oh.
Damn, Tisha. Damn. You don't want to miss.
Oh, you talking about when you hacked his phone?
What the f?
Oh, I'm gonna get past it.
You are changing so many lives. This. I'm very concerned about you. Love and Marriage Huntsville, New Reunion, Part 3. Saturday at 8/7 Central.
Let the chips fall where they may. There are some things that I've heard.
I think he's a fraud, and I don't think he's a good person.
It's only gonna get worse. I ain't gonna do this with everybody.
This is too much.
Ready to Love. New episode tonight, 8/7 Central.
There's nothing like volunteering at the fire department.
There's nothing like hitting the waves.
But with my moderate to severe eczema, it hasn't always been easy.
Since my skin was so irritated and itchy.
And even worse with all my gear on.
Now, I'm staying ahead of my eczema.
There's a power inside all of us to live our passion. And Dupixent works on the inside to help heal your skin from within. It helps block a key source of inflammation inside the body that can cause eczema. So adults can have long-lasting, clearer skin and fast itch relief. Serious allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Tell your doctor about new or worsening eye problems such as eye pain or vision changes, including blurred vision, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines without talking to your doctor.
Healing from within is a powerful thing.
Ask your eczema specialist how Dupixent can help heal your skin from within.
Now we're voyaging.
Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, chameleon. Come and go. You come and go. Love and believe in the colors of life, my dream. Red, gold, and green. Red, gold, and green.
How do you become America's #1? Start by taking care of families for over 75 years. Earn the trust of 32 NFL teams. Be there for America's toughest. And help when help is needed. America's #1 isn't a status earned overnight. It's earned in every wash and re-earned every day. Tide, America's #1 detergent.
Over 100 million Americans have low or no credit. Self is a new way to build credit. No credit score required. Self customers who start under 600 and make on-time payments see a 49-point bump in their credit score on average. Download the app today.
Calm. Download the free app now.
I became a therapist because I myself was a client. You know, I noticed the influence, the impact that it had in my life.
A platform like BetterHelp is very important because it allows access to affordable mental health care.
Sometimes I even joke with my clients and I say to them, I should be the one paying you. Just seeing your journey, just seeing the miracles, that's really what gets me going in the morning.
To be a therapist, in my opinion, is one of the most humbling things ever.
People gonna talk in D.C. They're claiming the Samuels are looking to divorce. I'm back and own that. I don't
and again and again and again.
Love and Marriage DC returns Saturday, January 21st at 8/7 Central.
I knew Lori wanted nothing to do with her mother. She never mentioned, hey, let's go visit my mom. Lori's mother, Mary, made it seem like they were close, and they weren't. Even though Mary was not close with Lori, that she almost seemed kind of like the crusader going on the news.
With anything, until you really have finality to it, you've got to have some hope.
When I would see those things, I had never criticized her, of course, but if you know nothing about your daughter, and if your daughter was here, she wouldn't be listening to you either.
Well, Mary disagrees with Mark and says that she had a typical mother-daughter relationship with Lori. She says they went on girl trips, loved to read together. Mary says Lori has been missing now longer than she was alive, and all she wants to know is what happened to her beautiful daughter. Mark says he's lost all of his pictures of Lori in a house fire, but there was one photo album that he's been trying to locate.
I have a photo album that was mine that we kept at Lori's house with just the two of us, and the local police told me that I had to wait 7 years before I could get it. In the year 2000, I called the police and they finally said, well, it's gone. Lori's mom has it, so she signed it out and basically took it from me. So I ended up calling Mary, and I confronted her about the album.
He was, in a very accusatory way, asking me if I had this photo album. Mark asked a very rude, rough, swearing way. It was like being slapped in the face.
And I said, well, you have the photo album that I've been waiting 7 years to get. And she denied it. And she just stayed with her, nope, don't have it, sorry, can't do anything for you. She said, if you want to, you can always look up pictures of her on the internet. And then Mary did send me like a little school photo. She could have sent me one picture of Lori and I together, but she didn't. Instead, she chose to send me a picture of Lori when I didn't even know her. And I would take that as kind of a slap in the face, as another way of her saying, you know what, I don't care about your feelings, this is your fault.
Eventually, I found an album that the police had given back to me, so I gave it to the Department of Justice, so I don't have it.
Okay, so there is a photo album.
Yes.
And you don't have it?
I don't. After Mark confronted me on Facebook...
No, I called you. I called you and we had a conversation.
I could probably go to Facebook and show you what was printed. Either way. I went through the albums I had gotten back from the police, which were very few, and there was one I thought was Lori's. I looked at it and I thought, well, there's a couple pictures of Mark and Lori, so maybe, you know, this would be what he's looking for. So I gave it to the Department of Justice and I said, please give it to Mark.
Why not just give it to him?
Because his Facebook messages to me were very accusatory and angry and inflammatory. Mm-hmm. And I thought, there is no way I want to even talk to him in person. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It would sure be nice if you could get along and not have friction over this. Lori's best friend, Victoria, is joining us on the phone. She says Lori told her to meet at Mark's apartment the night she disappeared. And she has some interesting things to say. Victoria, are you there?
I'm here.
You said there was a boy that had been asking her out multiple times, right?
Yes, and she politely turned him down multiple times, and then I believe that evening as well, he kind of insinuated again that he wanted to go out with her maybe more than as a friend, and she let him know that she had a boyfriend and then that wasn't going to be a possibility.
Okay, and so he did ask her out the night she disappeared.
I believe that is what I understand.
Tell me what happened a week after her disappearance, because you had information about his meeting up with some people from, I guess, coworkers or friends, where he showed some disturbing behavior. What happened?
They were all going to hang out, and this guy didn't come back or didn't show up at the apartment until hours later. And when he did show up, his behavior was very erratic. He was drawing, and some of the images were violent, like a man standing behind a girl, and then like with a bloody knife, and then a person standing behind a girl and stabbing them. And the images, from what I recall, what the girl in the drawing was wearing was very similar to what Lori was wearing the night she disappeared. And then there were other images, but I really don't recall the details of those images. It's that one that really stood out to me.
And the police have not located this person?
From what I've always understood was that this person has been off the grid basically since this incident, and that when they find out maybe where his location is, by the time they're able to find somebody to get over there or cooperate with that local police department from where they think he is, they get there and then he's gone.
They haven't told you we found this person and
No.
questioned him or whatever?
No. Actually, the case is still open, but the investigation has basically come to a halt. After 26 years, they really, they pointed their finger at Larry Hall for the longest time, but he apparently recanted, and he's not a suspect anymore.
Well, coming up, we're going to meet a woman who has worked with the police and the FBI to solve cold cases. She has some thoughts on Lori's disappearance. We'll talk to her next.
Lori's disappearance took a huge toll on me. I was hit with severe depression. And then in 2005, my hands, my feet all started turning black. It was a very, very rare bacterial disease. So I have a brain tumor on my pituitary gland. I also have 3 masses in my lungs and 6 between my throat and my stomach. Without Lori, my mind, my body, my life, everything fell apart.
Closed captioning provided by...
If you Walmart, you know. With everyday low prices, your dollar goes even further. So you can do more with the people you love. You spend a little less to get a little more. To make life a little better.
Aren't you tired of the same old boring rides? Let's go to the Super Bowl.
I'm in.
Inspired by a true story.
I'm taking this one. He's cute. You're bad.
One trip.
Come on, ladies.
Can change your life.
I'm at a party with a bunch of kids.
I'm 36. I'm a man.
You're working on it.
Lily Tomlin, Jane Fonda, Rita Moreno, and Sally Field.
This has been the best weekend of my whole life.
Why is champagne such a violent beverage?
80 for Brady. Rated PG-13.
Y'all, Wayfair has just what you need for your home.
Is that glitter? Simple is when its last leg.
Y'all need this.
You're Kelly Clarkson.
A whole new look for a whole lot less.
You're Kelly Clarkson.
I am. And you need this.
I love it.
Are we in a Wayfair commercial?
Maybe.
Personal sauna?
Okay, I need that. Wayfair, you've got just what I need.
I've always been prone to hair thinning.
I was getting older.
I was under a lot of stress.
I started taking Nutrafol.
Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist-recommended hair growth supplement.
I am back to me.
Start your hair growth journey at Nutrafol.com.
Favorite shows coming back tonight? Going to binge the whole season. Ooh, and cart some snacks and drinks. When your day should be ending, but you're just starting a new show, the world is your cart. Visit Instacart.com or download the app and get free delivery on your first order.
Okay, our stress level is off the charts and our anxiety is like, hello. Any ideas? Workaholic Kristen? Just stay busy. Feels very busy right now. Oh, we could eat the kids' leftovers. That's a lot to ask of mac and cheese. Who invited her? Your mom. We have the same mom. Look, we can busy the day away, but there has to be a better approach. Jogging. Side hustle. Doom scroll. Another mom group. We've tried all that. It's time for something different. See how simple that was? There shouldn't be a stigma about taking medication for anxiety. Get started at forhers.com. Let the chips fall where they may.
Tension's gonna fly.
Everybody's dating each other, but everybody knows they're dating each other.
Your directness is getting out of hand.
When I saw that, I was like, oh, well.
If you're looking for a man, say amen.
Amen. There are some things that I've heard.
It's so embarrassing. Okay, sweetheart. Next. I think he's a fraud, and I don't think he's a good person.
It's only gonna get worse. I ain't gonna do this with everybody.
This is too much.
Ready to Love. New episode tonight, 8/7 Central. You don't want to miss.
You have a dark soul.
Oh, I'm gonna get past it.
You are changing lives.
This.
I'm very concerned about you.
Love and Marriage Huntsville, New Reunion Part 3. Saturday at 8/7 Central.
A couple of years ago, I found out something that was kind of a mind blower. I found out that Lori had been saving up money and she had a ring on layaway that she had been paying off. That night that she disappeared, she was coming over with the ring. She was gonna propose to me. I firmly believe that if she hadn't gone missing, that her and I would be married still to this day.
Mark says he knows that he would have married Lori and lived happily ever after. But that's not what happened, because she mysteriously vanished on an August night in 1992. It's interesting, if you turn a bright light on over a case like this and we get national attention to it, then, you know, who knows? Maybe somebody saw something, maybe somebody remembers something from that night, maybe somebody heard somebody talking about it since then. You'll just be amazed how sometimes the most seemingly insignificant thing can trigger something that causes a case to unravel. Pam Coronado has consulted as a psychic detective to more than 40 government and private agencies, including the FBI. She is also search and rescue certified and focuses much of her energy on missing persons and cold cases. She's looked into Lori's disappearance in hopes of finding some clues. So Pam, thank you for being here. You've looked into this case. Anything to add?
They sent me her photo, Lori's photo, and I took a look at her photo and immediately felt that she had been abducted against her will. I did not feel like she went intentionally with someone. Had the feeling that someone was waiting for her or knew where she was going to be. It definitely felt like kind of like an ambush. And I kept getting the connection to somebody's father, somebody in your circle, possibly Mark. I don't know what the connection is exactly, but I did feel like there was a connection through somebody's father. So either yours or one of your friends, or somehow there's a connection there.
You said there was something had to do with a pool and a wheelbarrow.
So I did not feel also that she's just out in the woods. I know that you had a guy that supposedly confessed and said he put her in the woods. I don't feel that that's true. I don't see that scenario. I keep seeing a swimming pool, which is an odd thing, especially because I do a lot of location type work. So it was very strange to just keep seeing a swimming pool. And so I wonder if there was someone installing a pool at that time that could have hid her that way, but or near a pool, which makes me think private property.
Well, it's absolutely all food for thought. Coming up, Mark says he's had a lot of bad luck since Lori's disappearance. Stress plays really, really ugly tricks on us all. He's going to tell us about that next. We'll be right back. Closed captioning provided by...
People gonna talk in D.C. They're claiming the Samuels are looking to divorce.
I'm back and own that.
And again, and again, and again.
Love and Marriage DC returns Saturday, January 21st at 8/7 Central.
Bedtime is rough, and we'll go to extremes to fall asleep. Tempur-Pedic adapts to your body's needs to help you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer. So head to Ashley to find your perfect Tempur-Pedic and get 0% interest for 60 months.
Bye-bye, cough.
Later, chest congestion. Hello, 12 hours of relief.
12 hours?
Not coughing? Hashtag still not coughing?
Mucinex DM gives you 12 hours of relief from chest congestion and any type of cough, day or night. Mucinex DM. It's comeback season.
Slotomania presents Slotomania's New Year's celebration. Download now to receive 1 million free coins, a free piggy.
Day or night. Mucinex DM. It's comeback season.
Slotomania presents Slotomania's New Year's celebration. Download now to receive 1 million free coins, a free piggy, and we'll multiply your first 23 wins with a new 2023 multiplier. Slotomania. What will today spin?
Wondering what actually goes into your multivitamin? At New Chapter, it's innovation, organic ingredients, and fermentation.
Fermentation?
Yes, formulated to help your body really, truly absorb the natural goodness. New Chapter. Wellness well done.
I was always the competitive one in our family, until my sister signed up for United Healthcare Medicare Advantage.
Wow.
Now she's got a whole team to help her get the most out of her plan.
Wow.
With coverage that's better than ever for dental, vision, prescription drugs, and more.
Advantage me.
Can't wait till I turn 65.
AARP Medicare Advantage plans, only from United Healthcare. Take advantage now at uhc.com/Medicare.
Thank you. Next.
Can I return this love-hate relationship with cookies?
Of course. Do you want to return them both or just the hate?
I can just return the hate?
Yep.
I love that. Hate the hate.
Hate the hate.
I hate the hate.
Hate the hate.
Learn how to eat all the foods you love, even cookies, brownies, and desserts, and still lose weight. Weight Watchers can teach you how. Start today at www.com.
My little family is me, Aria, and Jade. Just the three of us girls. Here, this way. I never thought twice about feeding her kibble, but about 2 years ago, I realized she was overweight. She was always out of breath. That's when I decided to introduce the farmer's dog to her diet. It's just so fresh that she literally gets bubbles in her mouth. Now she's a lot more active. She's able to join us on our adventures, and we're all able to do things as a family.
Get started at longlivedogs.com.
Let the chips fall where they may.
There are some things that I've heard.
I think he's a fraud, and I don't think he's a good person.
It's only gonna get worse. I ain't gonna do this with everybody.
This is too much.
Ready to Love. New episode tonight, 8/7 Central.
Mark says he's been haunted by his girlfriend Lori's disappearance 26 years ago and has recurring dreams about Lori being alive. But he recently discovered Lori's mom has said goodbye in her very own way. He didn't know about that. He wasn't part of that. And he hasn't done anything like that himself. Take a look.
Just 2 days ago, I found out about a video that Mary had done, and one of the snips in the video showed a tombstone with Lori's name on it, and I kind of stopped and looked at it, and I was like, wait, is that an actual tombstone?
We decided that we needed a memorial to Lori, to have some place to go to pay our respects.
To my knowledge, there was no celebration of life, there was no closure, if you will, for her, and if there was, I wasn't invited, and that would be specifically by Mary. Mary, I still think to this day, has some kind of a resentment towards me. Lori's mother might feel guilty because they didn't have the relationship when Lori was still here. So I think she deflected a lot of her anger towards me because she didn't know who else to put it on.
Well, joining me now is Coach Mike. Mike Bayer. He's a life coach who is really loved by his clients. He's helped a laundry list of A-list celebrities get and keep their lives on track. He's helped people from every walk of life. He really focuses on helping his clients break free of their destructive patterns. And now he also has written a book called Best Self, Be You Only Better. And let me tell you, I consider this book to be a how-to manual to maximize your potential by discovering the best person that you can be. So welcome, Coach Mike Bayer. You've been listening to everything we've been talking about.
I have. And first off, Mary and Mark, I'm so sorry for the loss. I know, Mark, that you've been pretty stuck
in your life currently.
Yes.
And you talked about people waving their finger at you at restaurants. What I want to do is I want to wave my finger at you 26 years later and tell you you deserve to live the life you want. Okay?
Well, let's talk about that for a minute, because I said stress, and stress does take its toll. It's taken its toll on you, right?
Oh, definitely.
And stress, one thing we know is it compromises your autoimmune system, and you've had it all. A rare bacteria from dogs where your feet, ankles, and hands have turned black. You've lost skin on your hands and fingernails. You were diagnosed with a brain tumor in 2011. You've had severe mood swings. You've had pulmonary heart disease, asthma, severe PTSD. Your house is burned down. I mean, it's kind of like this all is taking its toll on you as well, and it's kind of shown up in a lot of the things you say to yourself. You say, "I've been cheated on. I had to file bankruptcy. I'm not good enough to hold on to my wife. Nobody even cared enough about me to take me to the hospital. No one had ever told me about this brain tumor that was caught on an MRI from 2005. I was having severe mood swings that caused me to lose friends. I have so many aches and pains now, I just can't handle leaving the house at times. I see 10 or 11 doctors. I'm taking 14 medications. I lost everything in a house fire." What do you think about that?
I think in life coaching, we look at it as your thoughts and your behaviors. We need to change both of those.
When we come back, we're going to talk about how you move on and what you do with the feelings. Is it a betrayal of the lost loved one when you start to heal your life? We'll be right back.
You don't want to miss.
You have a dark soul.
I'm gonna get past it.
You are changing lives.
This.
I'm very concerned about you.
Love and Marriage Huntsville, New Reunion Part 3, Saturday at 8/7 Central.
Hey, Dad, I'm almost out.
I got you.
Any questions, Chris?
All good. Thanks, Mara. There you go. One new inhaler.
Nice. Did you get my refill too?
Maybe.
Here you go, sir.
You're a lifesaver.
So nice day.
Healthier is managing all your family's prescriptions in one app. CVS Pharmacy. Healthier happens together. I have moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now there's Skyrizi. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clearer skin at 4 months after just 2 doses.
Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, had a vaccine, or plan to.
Talk to your dermatologist about Skyrizi. Learn how AbbVie could help you save.
This isn't Charmin. No wonder I don't feel as clean.
Hurry up, Dad. You've been in there forever.
I'm trying. This cheap stuff is too thin.
I told you not to get the other toilet paper. Here's the new Charmin Ultra Strong.
Ah, my bottom's been saved.
With its diamond weave texture, new Charmin Ultra Strong cleans better with fewer sheets and less effort.
What's everybody waiting for? This?
Okay, hon. We know you're clean. We all go. Why not enjoy the go with Charmin?
It's not subtle. Now you can give them what they've always wanted. Real food for dogs. Caesar Wholesome Bowls and Simply Crafted. Caesar, love them back.
There's something going around the Gordon home. Good thing Gertrude found Delsum. Now what's going around is 12-hour cough relief. And the giggles. The family that takes Delsum together feels better together.
It takes special dedication to care for our elderly, especially when they need it most.
At Visiting Angels, we help seniors remain independent and safe in their own home.
And give families that special peace of mind, knowing that their loved ones have the best care possible.
America's seniors need our helping hands.
So if you care about caring, come on and join our team.
Visiting Angels, America's choice in home care.
Hers knows what it feels like, trying to outcope anxiety. We've tried it all. Breathing through it, walking through it, light therapy, massage therapy, DIY therapy, talking to our moms, our friends, our moms' friends. All with the best of intentions, but not always with the best results. That's why Hers offers access to mental health care to help you do more than just cope. When you've tried it all, it's time for mental health care through Hers.
Let the chips fall where they may. There are some things that I've heard.
I think he's a fraud, and I don't think he's a good person.
It's only gonna get worse. I ain't gonna do this with everybody.
This is too much. Ready to Love. New episode tonight, 8/7 Central.
"26 years ago, 20-year-old Lori Deppis, to quote the police, vanished into thin air. Her mother, Mary, and her boyfriend, Mark, keep hoping someone will have some new information that will crack this case. That's why we're doing it. And you've been seeing numbers on the bottom of the screen. There's going to be numbers on drphill.com, Facebook, Twitter, everywhere that you find me. So if there's anything that you know about this case, please pick up the phone and give that information. I've asked Coach Mike to join us here because there comes a time where you do need to move on. And you and I have talked about this feeling of grief because it's not a betrayal to the person you love when you start to heal your life. True?
True.
That doesn't mean that you forget them. It doesn't mean that you hold them in any less regard to move on with your life. You just bring them with you and you celebrate them through moving on in your life because you like you say, you have others that you need to take care of.
That's right.
So let's talk about moving on. What do you say as a coach about moving on?
First, we need to create goals that are measurable and that we can accomplish. Because my guess is right now you don't have a lot of goals in your life. You're kind of just surviving and trying to stay afloat.
Yeah.
And what we would do after we set the goals is we would look at what thinking is getting in the way of you accomplishing those goals. And what are the behaviors you need to start doing differently to achieve those goals.
When you're thinking the things that we put up on this wall up here all day long, and then you wonder, why am I breaking down from stress? Why am I having all of these biological issues and problems? It's because there's a biological reaction for every thought you have. How in the world can you ever expect to achieve something in your life if your internal dialogue is telling you, I'm no good, I can't do this, I'm not good enough, I don't deserve it? So you just create that. And there's a real simple test to start testing your thoughts. Number one, test your thoughts this way. Are they factually true? Number two, are they in your best interest? 3, does it generate progress towards healthy goals? 4, does it minimize unhealthy conflict and support positive relationships? And does it maintain your safety? If you have a thought, write it down and use these criteria to test that thought. It's got to get better. Hell, you can't fall off the floor. I mean, they burned your house down. The dog made you sick. I mean, it's got to get better, right?
Yeah.
All right. When we come back, I'm going to tell Mark and Mary what I think needs to happen next for each of them. Closed captioning provided by...
People gonna talk in D.C.
They're claiming the Samuels are looking to divorce.
I'm back and own that. And again, and again, and again.
Love and Marriage DC returns Saturday, January 21st at 8/7 Central.
Even when things seem quieter, the urge to protect means staying on the lookout to help keep others from harm. At Pfizer, we're driven by this impulse. We've reached hundreds of millions of lives with our COVID-19 response, and we keep innovating. Whatever comes next, we will respond fiercely, like family.
If you Walmart, you know. With everyday low prices, your dollar goes even further. So you can do more with the people you love. You spend a little less to get a little more. To make life a little better.
Pizza makes any day great. So Marco's is offering 30% off all menu price pizzas. It's the perfect excuse to have a lot of great days. January's looking real good. Marco's, pizza lovers, get it.
Dancing is everything. Soccer is the best.
But her moderate to severe eczema could make it hard for her.
My skin was so itchy and my outfit was uncomfortable. Now, my skin's not as itchy.
Now, we're staying ahead of her eczema.
There's a power inside all of us to live our passion. And Dupixent works on the inside to help heal your skin from within. It helps block a key source of inflammation inside the body that can cause eczema, so they can have clearer skin and less itch. Serious allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Tell your doctor about new or worsening eye problems, such as eye pain or vision changes, including blurred vision, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines without talking to your doctor.
Healing from within is a wonderful thing.
Ask your child's eczema specialist how Dupixent can help heal their skin from within.
Hey, Charlie the Tuna here. How does she do it? By refueling with Starkist tuna, salmon, and chicken pouches. Tear, eat, and go with Starkist pouches. Try Starkist Smart Bowls. Grains, veggies, and tuna. It's a grain bowl in a pouch.
You don't want to miss. You have a dark soul. Oh, I'm gonna get past it.
You are changing lives.
This.
I'm very concerned about you.
Love and Marriage Huntsville, New Reunion Part 3, Saturday at 8/7 Central.
You're on 14 different medications from 10 different doctors. We need to get a baseline on you. I've talked to Dr. Frank Lawless, which we deal with a lot. He's chairman of our advisory board here, and he's also director of the P&P Center in Dallas. And I use him a lot because they have a multidisciplinary team there where they can go in and just really evaluate you one time right, for sure, and find out where you are biochemically, look at your labs, look at your brain, find out what's going on, and hit the reset button and see if we can't get you off of about 15 of those 14 medications.
I feel the same way.
And then once that's done, Mike, he needs a life coach.
He does. At CAST Centers, we have life coaches who would be doing a weekly strategy call, accountability, be your thinking partner, because we're going to get you a better way of living. Okay. I promise.
All right, that's what we're going to do. All right, I want to thank all of my guests today for sharing their story. A special thanks to Coach Mike Baer. A special thanks to Pam Coronado. Thank you so much for your input on this. And thanks to Dr. Frank Lawless and the P&P Center for offering to help Mark. A special thanks to CAST Centers here in LA. I will have a link to the P&P Center on drphil.com and on Facebook. I will have a link to CAST Centers here in LA, so you can find both places if you want to get some more information for yourself. And there is something that if you are dealing with the grief process, I'm going to put something on our website. It's the Mind Body Solutions. And it's Dr. Frank Lawless has put this together, and I'm going to have a link there to that. It's grief and loss. It's an audio program, and it really helps you. You can listen to this in the privacy of your own home. It's free. You don't even have to have a very fast computer because it's all audio. And if you're dealing with that right now, I really recommend you listen to it. It is very, very helpful. So if you have any information regarding Lori, contact the Department of Justice of Criminal Investigation at 608-266-1671. 266-1671. Let's crack this case. We'll see you next time.